This is NewsBreak26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. All 6 federal candidates for New Brunswick Southwest came out to the Garceland Civic Centre for the second Meet the Candidates Night of the election season, this time hosted by the St. Stephen Area Chamber of Commerce. Green Party candidate Susan Jonah, incumbent Liberal candidate Karen Ludwig, and Progressive Conservative candidate John Williamson, all of whom were at the first Meet the Candidates Night in St. George, were joined this time by NDP candidate Douglas Mullen, People's Party candidate Merrill Sartee, and Veterans Coalition candidate Abe Scott. Candidates each had 1 minute to answer questions selected from audience members earlier in the evening. Veteran moderator Mike Corbett, who also emceed the first Meet the Candidates Night in St. George, once again moderated the event. Corbett has emceed every municipal, provincial, and federal candidates night hosted by the St. Stephen Area Chamber of Commerce for the last 15 years.
The biggest challenge I face when we're dealing with these sorts of things is the timeline. We must respect the people's time that are here. Sometimes you feel like a little bit of a babysitter with each other, trying to make sure that everybody gets along. I'd say the timeline's the hardest, but the second part of that being making sure everybody is getting along and being respectful and kind to one another. Politics can sometimes bring the worst out in all of us, which is why we're not supposed to talk about it anywhere. Religion, politics, there's a reason why we shouldn't be discussing these things, because it brings out the worst in some of us. But again, it's a challenge, but definitely rewarding at the end of the night.
This week is Fire Prevention Week in Charlotte County. The St. Andrews Fire Department celebrated with a community barbecue at the fire station. Local kids tried their hand using a fire hose and learned about fire safety, playing in an educational funhouse.
And this year's theme for Fire Prevention Week is Not Every Hero Wears a Cape. Plan and practice your fire escape. So make sure you have 2 ways out of your house, 2 ways out of your room, and practice it a couple times a year with your family. Make sure your parents are really in on it, because the older we get, the more we forget. So as well as to make sure you check your smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors at least twice a year.
Works by New Brunswick painter Jared Peters are currently on display in Sunbury Shore's Water Street Gallery. The exhibit, entitled Album, is a collection of paintings based on photos taken by Peters of everyday moments from his daily life. By transforming seemingly insignificant occurrences into works of art, Peters explores the role day-to-day experiences have in forming a person's identity.
People that have a phone, and I just kind of like take pictures about these everyday moments, and I just started painting them just as kind of a personal daily practice, and that kind of gesture made me think about those moments that I don't usually think about. So it just became a way to think through my kind of experience of moving through the world on an everyday basis.
Albums will be on display in the Water Street Gallery until October 26th. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Week, an exhibit featuring artworks created by local artists living with mental health issues is on display in Sunbury Shore's Harborview Gallery until October 12th. The exhibit, entitled Art in Mind, was inspired by former traveling exhibit Mindscapes that used to be organized annually by the New Brunswick Bureau of the Canadian Mental Health Association. Art in Mind was curated by the Charlotte County branch of the CMHA and features a broad range of artists working in a variety of mediums, each of whom uses art as a form of both self-expression and therapy.
We have about 37 pieces here, and they're all done by people living with anxiety, depression, a mental health issue. And it's all to show how creativity can improve our mental health and really ease us in our stress.
Finally, with leaves now changing color and Thanksgiving upon us, fall still wouldn't be complete for many Charlotte County residents without a trip to Kingsbrae Garden this Saturday, October 12th from 1 to 3 p.m. for the 5th annual Charlotte County Pumpkin Festival. From pumpkin painting to a highly competitive pie eating contest, it's a great place to show your fall festive side and also try your luck guessing the weight of the annual giant pumpkin. We hope to see you there. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO-TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.